Why are JavaScript promises so elegant for async code? Imagine trying to manage a bunch of tasks that happen at different times, like fetching data from a server or reading files. It can get messy fast. That's where promises come in. They change how we handle these tasks, making our code cleaner and easier to follow. Promises are like a promise in real life. When you ask someone to do something, you wait for their promise to be fulfilled. In JavaScript, a promise represents an operation that will finish in the future. It can either succeed or fail. This helps us avoid the mess of nested callback functions, which can turn into a tangled web of code. One big reason promises are so neat is their ability to chain operations. Instead of writing callback functions inside each other, you can use the then method. Each then waits for the previous one to finish and then runs its own code. This creates a straight line of actions, making your code look more like a list of steps. It's much easier to read and maintain. Handling errors is another advantage. With promises, you attach a catch method at the end of your chain. If anything goes wrong in any step, the error jumps straight to catch. This centralizes error handling, so you don't have to check for errors after every single operation. It keeps your code tidy and less prone to bugs. Promises also have a clear way of showing the current state. They can be pending, fulfilled, or rejected. This makes it obvious what stage an operation is in. Once a promise is fulfilled or rejected, it stays that way. This predictability helps prevent bugs where callbacks might run multiple times or at the wrong moment. Another powerful feature is how promises work with multiple tasks at once. You can start several operations simultaneously using methods like promise all or promise race. For example, promise all waits for all tasks to finish before moving on. This makes managing many asynchronous actions much simpler than tracking each callback manually. Promises are also the foundation for the modern async and await syntax. When you write async functions and use the await keyword, you are working with promises behind the scenes. Learning promises helps you understand and use async functions effectively. Most modern JavaScript APIs and libraries return promises. Whether you are making HTTP requests, reading files, or working with timers, promises give you a consistent way to handle asynchronous code. This uniformity makes your code more predictable and easier to work with across different parts of your project. Promises separate starting an operation from handling its result. You can create a promise that starts immediately, allowing your program to stay responsive. When the operation finishes, you get notified without blocking other tasks. This non-blocking behavior is essential for building fast, responsive web applications. Using promises makes your code more readable. Instead of a jumble of nested functions, your code reads like a sequence of clear steps. This clarity helps other developers understand your work, makes debugging easier, and simplifies future updates. For anyone learning JavaScript for web development, mastering promises is a must. They bridge the gap between older callback-based code and the newer async and await syntax. Knowing promises means you can handle any asynchronous task in JavaScript, whether it's legacy code or modern applications.